All right, first question, we'll have Jackson start this off since he went second in the opening statement. What are one or two major issues in which you would disagree with Congressman Charlie Dent?
Well, I think Congressman Dent, in two major areas, I've got some big problems with him. So first is every single major showdown that there's been with the government, whether it is the debt ceiling debacle, whether it is the threats to shut down the government. He has stood with John Boehner on these issues that have disgusted Americans, the brinksmanship that's been taking place. And additionally, in addition to the brinksmanship that he's played, I'm also against the extreme right-wing votes that he's been taking for John Boehner. Just recently, he's indicated that he's willing to vote for John Boehner's bill that would restrict women's access to birth control. He's indicated that he's going to repeal the accommodation that the Obama administration made with Catholic universities to ensure that women had access to that under national health exchanges. He's voted just today for the new Ryan budget. He has voted continually on bills that would negatively impact the environment. He voted, the EPA had, for instance, just one example, the EPA has a rule that would limit the particulate matter that cement plants can emit, mercury, arsenic. The EPA's found that this could cause up to 2,400 premature deaths if it did not implement this regulation. And Congressman Dent, based purely on a study by the Portland Cement Association, decided that he would relax this regulation and sponsored legislation to relax that regulation.
Rick?
Two areas where I very much disagree with Congressman Dent, and this is on recent legislation. There's a whole slew of areas I do disagree with him on. Jackson did help him get elected in 2004. I disagree with him going back to that point. But the recent legislation that I would oppose him on, first of all, was the support of the Ryan budget elimination plan for Medicare, which I spoke about earlier. The second, more recent piece of legislation that he supported was a free trade agreement between Panama, Colombia, South Korea, and us. Colombia is noteworthy because they assassinate labor leaders. So for us to even consider any type of a free trade agreement with them, I think, is unconscionable. In the South Korean free trade agreement, there's a provision in that after 5 years, only 65% of the parts of a car coming out of South Korea need to be made there. The rest could be made elsewhere. And South Korea currently has a number of cooperative industrial zones with North Korea. And what that means is that those cars coming out of South Korea can be put together with parts from slave labor in the North. They're clear trade agreements that are undercutting our workers and our ability to compete internationally. They hurt us. They do not help us in any way, shape, or form. Those are two that I would oppose.
Our next question, we'll start, Rick, you can start this one off. Being that we are holding this debate on a college campus, what would college students expect